Now we actually have to figure out how to make an ore processing facility. Safe, yeah, safe. Should have max level after that, exactly. He should definitely have been at least level 2 after that one. 8 years alone in space, 8.5 years alone in space, then he survived that nonsense? Send it to Jewel alone now? Oh, you're a bad man. Oh, science facility. I think we can unlock rover wheels. No, this one. Oh shit. Fine, we need a little bit more because I want these the big honking wheels. We're gonna need them. We're gonna need the big honking wheels. So we just need to steal a little bit of science. So let's see if Penelope 1 has any science in her. We actually have to, you know, no more pussyfooting around. Oh, please tell me I told them to turn the science on. Oh, I did. Let's just pass because we need a little bit more. I can't warp any higher from here. Well, let's just transmit that back then. It's not much, but it'll do. Then we'll go to min-miss, see if we can... You know what we'll do is we'll just do a little bit of time acceleration from here. Blah 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 doo ba doo ba doo boo min-miss. And then we'll transmit the science from min-miss. Then we'll have enough for those bigger wheels. Figure we'll probably need them for a big honkin' ore processing facility. Oh yeah, 50 science ducats. Transmit that. Thank you very much. Back to the Space Center. Boo, boo, doo, boo, 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 doo, boo, doo. Oh, yeah, plenty. Here we go. Advanced motors. Ruggedized vehicular wheel and a Rovemax model XL3 along with various rotors. Not that I know what to do with them. Could we maybe do a little bit, grab a little bit of the aerodynamic stuff just because we never bothered to grab it before? Okay, how big are these wheels? That's what I'm wondering is how actually big are these wheels? And it's under here. So we gotta let's grab like a big command thingy. Just yeah, no, we'll grab yeah, that's pretty big. Just to get a an idea. So this is the first rover wheel. There's that one's pretty big. These ones I've used before. Those ones are pretty small. So we all know. Whoa! Oh my god! What the fuck? Holy shit! My god. That is fudging huge. How do I get that into space? I haven't figured that out yet. I mean, this is gonna take multiple launches, I assume, because you need the converter. So what I'm thinking is you leave like the converter is stationary. Oh, you know, it's gonna need more. It's gonna need a couple. That movie with the vehicle castles. Oh, I don't. Mortal Engines. So what I'm thinking is you launch the converter over there and land that. You leave that stationary. Then you need to land because you need tanks as well. Like radial holding tank. Yeah, these things hold ore. That's a radial holding tank. I'm just gonna, this is just for comparison. So these hold ore. think this one does too. Oh, that's another big radial. It's a bigger radial holding tank. Or that's a small hold. Wait, if that's a small holding tank, where's the big one? Oh, and you can put that one in line too. Where the fuck's up? Is that another science? Oh god. Are there bigger holding tanks? Those are just xenon containers. I don't think so. There's gotta be, if there's a small one, there's gotta be a large one, right? I don't see a large tank. Oh, is it under experimental science? Oh, there it is right there. A large tank. I didn't think it'd be under experimental science. All right, well, we'll just go without that for now. That's okay. We could use the other ones. So we build a rocket around this then. We build a lander around this. So what I'm thinking is we build a lander around this and we land that where it, you know, where it needs to be at our processing center. And then what we do is we either put in another lander with a bunch of tanks for holding ore, or what we do, the other option, is we build a lander, like it would have to launch vertically, but have wheels along the side of it, and then it would land on it. It would land horizontally, and it would basically be a bunch of tanks in line with the extractor on it, and that would extract all of that would extract all the ore that it would drive back with the tanks are attached to it and plug into the converter. You know, for the giant wheels, it's probably advised to send a rover that size up on a giant space plane. Yeah. Oh god, yeah, I know there's a lot of mods that make this type of things easier, but like I said, this playthrough is vanilla. First time using bits, so here you go, have fun. Thanks, Speedmon. Appreciate that. Why don't we start with this? This seems like the easiest part to work with for now. And Jen Bika, thanks for the diddly. This definitely seems like the easiest part. Oh, you know what else this thing needs? No, this is more complicated because I've only thought about processing the ore into the fuel. It also needs bulk fuel tanks to hold the processed liquid fuel and oxidizer, and it also needs a heavy lift ascent vehicle to get the fuel back up to the space station. You could leave the converter in space and build a drill and lander down. So, okay, so that option would be to basically plug the converter into the space station and then just haul the ore up and down. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's, I mean, either way, you've got to do lifting. That seems like it would be easier, because so you would need to, yeah, plug this into the space. That's what I'm thinking. That might be the best idea. Plug this into the space station. Then you need an ascent vehicle and an extractor. What weighs more, the fuel or the ore? Honestly, I don't know. I've never done this before. This is brand new to me. Yeah, I think that's the best idea. A lander A lander that has a lot of holding tanks for ore, and a rover with holding tanks for ore and the extractor. The rover, because, well, honestly, does it need to be a rover or can it be stationary? I don't know. I think we're gonna haul the ore up. I think that's the best idea. Part of the new DLC. I honestly don't remember when this stuff was added in. I think this stuff is a little bit older. Drilling and converting runs hot, so put radiators on your vehicles. Oh, shit! I didn't know that. Okay, that is a good tip. So why don't we why don't we do the converter first? That seems like the easiest part. So, that seems like the easiest part. We already have a space station with a holding tank. We would probably want to put on more holding tanks for more fuel. Oh, you know what else you know what else would be useful? Oh, God. That space station was built entirely with normal-sized docking ports. It doesn't have any senior docking ports, so it is wibbly as shit. Which means everything's going... We're not going to be able to use the docking port seniors. We have to use the docking port normals. So this uses... There's plenty of power on the space station already. Work heat. Required cooling 200 kilowatts. Is that under here? All right. Specs. Electrical charge. So how do these guys just strap onto the sides, right? Thermal control small, thermal control medium, thermal control large. Deployable radiator. Max cooling 85. Okay. I think that might be a little overkill, honestly. Let's see. It's a 2-to-1 ratio for converting. Then you have to do a lot more trips hauling ore than you would haul fuel. I guess you know what? We're probably gonna have to just trial and error it and see what happens. Does it say on the converter what the ratio is? So it's so for oxidizer, basically, yeah, you get double the oxidizer than you put in. Oh yeah, it's 1 to 2. Happy 50th moon landing. Exactly. It's a great time to be operating you know, expanding our operational base here. And then if you're doing both at the same time, it's basically 1 to 1. So it definitely seems like it's better to just haul the ore into orbit. Because it's 1 to 1 when you're converting both, and 2 to 1 if you're converting it either or. So either way, it's good. It's going to be better to put this on the space station than anything else. All right, so let's start building. Ideally, what we're going to want to do is have like a big ass fuel tank attached to this thing. For you know, like a big huge holding tank. We could always bring a holding tank over. Been to the moon a few times, but you find Minmus easier. Minmus is a little bit easier. Yeah, we don't need to save this. Right now we're working on a fueling station because I have a reusable spaceship that we need to find a way to easily and cheaply fuel. That's this one right here. Because this thing is not necessarily designed. I wasn't ever planning on returning the entire spaceship back to Kerbin unless, you know, I really need to. So this thing, we can get back to Kerbin. And I have a fuel tanker ready to send out to it. But what we're going to do is we're going to build a fueling base at the moon to facilitate interplanetary travel. God, I love this spaceship. I'm so happy with this thing. I'm so proud of it. It's beautiful. Oh, do I have a free docking? I think I have free docking ports at my space station. I'm 90%. We should double check, though. A fleet of Penelopes in the future. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the only one. It took 13 launches to build that. Let's actually check our moon base and see what we're working with, because I haven't really utilized it in a while. Landed on the moon. No, we don't need the probes on. This one. We do have a free docking port right now. And I mean, if we ever needed to, this is a pretty old model of lander. If we ever needed to, I could always ditch it and replace it with my newer model. Oh, you know, and we got a an inline docking port set up right there too. So yeah, we have two available expansion ports to work from. So what I would probably want to do is maybe auto strut all these parts together so that it's less wibbly. I'd probably put the fuel processing facility in line on the end there, and then maybe try to fly over just a huge tank to fill. Because right now, this is the only... Well, I mean, technically this is a fuel tank too. This is the biggest fuel tank here, but we're going to want way more capacity than that. And we do have a big monopropellant tank, so we're not going to need another one of those. Probably combine a few of the parts for that super heavy giant ship. I did actually do that. 2 of the launches were just fueling it, and 2 of the launches were adding on the micro landers / impactors that I added on after the fact. But I do have access to better launch vehicles now. Okay, let's do this. Add on another coupler with the large adapter on it. Yeah, basically just put on an adapter. A European to an American outlet. Alright, so let's do this. So, on the tip here, I'm thinking we should put the fuel tank on the front and an adapter. Put like a medium-sized fuel tank on the front and an adapter to plug it in, and then we'll actually have the converter pushed further away from the station. This crazy idea. Send a probe command section to Duna to bring back the nuclear engine section and keep using it. Penelope, what's wrong? Penny? What's the matter? Penny's worried about something. Hang on. Good dog. You're a good girl. You're a good girl. Florida dog murders Florida man and takes over Twitch stream. Yeah. She likes, a lot of times if she's nervous, she likes to get up in the chair because she feels safe here. So I guess we'll let her hang out for a second. Yeah, are you okay now? I think she just heard something outside that, you know, she gets nosy. She hears noises. You okay? You okay? You look happy now. You look plenty happy now. Can we get back to what we were doing, Pooch? Is that okay with you? Is that okay with Penny? Alright. Thank you, Penny. Can I have my chair back? Thank you, Penny. Good girl. Good girl. Just the best dog. You're just the best dog. Okay. Back to what we were doing, and this is actually a little lower than it was before. I'm not a titty streamer, I swear. Okay, big old fuel tank on the top here. I think it's this. Nope, it's bigger than that. This one. A big old fuel tank. We are going to need to actually push this to there. Gonna need an ore holding, so you can send the lander back down. True. We could throw on a lot of radial tanks for ore storage, because we don't have the big ones. Ore storage, converter, fuel storage, command and control. Okay, let's see here. That's a big ass fuel tank. I mean, it'll be used for getting there. And then it'll be used for storage. Multi-purpose. We could put a taper on it. I think this is this one. Then this one. Yep. Does it go smaller? Oh, that's just a big one. Because we're gonna need to put a probe core on there. I think that's still the size of the senior, isn't it? Nope. I think that might be the right size. Ha! Perfect. Beautiful. Launch it with no fuel in the tanks to cut down on weight. But I still need a rocket to fly it there. So it could use the fuel. I could, you know, no matter what, I'm going to need to be lifting the fuel tank up there. And if I drain it out of fuel, I still need to put on more fuel tanks elsewhere to launch it into orbit. Because it's not like I'm planning on... This fuel's going to get used in the launch. Oh yeah, I could use a shielded docking port. I forgot I had those. There we go. Beautiful. So ideally, this is the section that will be left on the station. So what I'm going to do is I will put on a Clampetron Senior on the back so that I can expand onto it later. Thanks for the tips in chat, though, guys. I know a lot of streamers hate backseat gaming and they get all bent out of shape about it. You let me know. You have a better idea. You let me know what it is. Okay, so theoretically, this is just the section that's on there, and then we need radiators, right? That's under heat. So, how many radiators do we need? Like, this deploys, right? Holy crap! Does that ever deploy? Bursting with the need to say something yet was watching the VOD. Oh yeah, when I started this playthrough, I basically knew like the basics on how to get to the moon and back. And nothing else. I've learned a lot on this playthrough. What do you think, 2 of these will be enough? How much do these weigh? They're a ton each. Here. can radiate can radiate everything ever need. I was thinking maybe 2 of these. So these yeah, these are just edge panel ones that just kind of slap on there. They don't deploy or anything, right? Yeah. They don't deploy. The thermal control systems, these are the ones that actually deploy, right? Yeah. So that's like the same size as a 1x6. Who's its? Oh, those look pretty cool too. Could cool off the sun. Let's see. Tolerance, G's. Deployable servo for multiple liquid cool, consisting of multiple. Cools up to 4 times part temperature, transfer rate 10%, max cooling 85,000 kilowatts. Core heat transfer 1,000 kilowatts. It doesn't use that much energy either. I think a couple small ones should be fine. Well, what I always like to future-proof if possible, and that's what I was thinking is, what if we... Honey, what are you destroying? Oh, that's fine. You're just a good girl. That's fine, sweet pie. You're a good girl. I can hear her destroying something behind the green screen. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something expensive. What if we, I'm thinking we put on 2 big ones. 2 big ones. That way, even if I think it's I know it's overkill. But I think that'll help future-proof the station. Penny destroying something? Yeah, she's chewing on a yogurt container, I think, right now behind me. Like, Leah gave her the yogurt container after she ate the yogurt out of it. Because Penny likes to chew on things. That'll be plenty far away from the space station when it's deployed. Wow, this thing's fucking heavy. Fueled, it's 52 tons. Holy crap. Let's see, what is it unfueled? 14 tons. I mean, it only needs to go to the moon. Oh, that's hideous. These don't line up nicely. Ah. They don't look good. They don't look good. That looks kind of cool. Okay, so that's our fuel conversion facility. And then fuel tanks. These each hold 75 ore. So we just throw a ton of these on. For holding ore, right? Can I radially mount the other ones? That is nubbly. That's why I say unfueled. Well, yeah, but I think you're missing the point. The point is that no matter what, it has to use fuel to get to where it's going. There's no point in lifting the section unfueled and then having other fuel tanks behind it that I needed to add on because it was not fueled. It can use the fuel in these to get to where it's going. Put ore tanks on the lander. I had multiple people in the chat told me to put ore tanks on these for storage so the lander can leave. You could use a hollow section in the nose cone and put ore tanks inside. Oh, that's a good idea. Don't I have a big storage, like a big payload section? Oh, that's not very big. I mean, that's a pretty big nubbly, but so don't I need ore tanks on this so that I don't have to have the lander plugged in? Yeah. Because otherwise, the lander, I would have to leave the lander plugged into the space station while it was processing fuel. If I put the ore tanks on this as well, I'm probably overkilling this. Well, I don't know, 75. So each is 75. And, oh god, I need a calculator. So let's see what we got on there right now. Because it's about 1-to-1. 75 times 8, and then I've got times 3. That's 1,800 fuel worth of ore. That doesn't even cover this one tank here. I mean, it's a massive freaking tank. Just use a hollow structural section rather than an empty tank, and move the radial fuel sides. Well, they're not empty tanks. A large girder with the medium ore tanks in symmetry around it, in line between the nose tanks and the orange tanks. So that, what you're saying is, Gib. Like, take that off. Structural. Like, is there a circular? Oh, that's a baby section. I thought there was like a circular radial, like just a cage you could put in there. Or so that's an extra large girder. Oh, oh, do I like that? And then slap them in there. Oh, the crazier it looks, the more I love it. So what do these hold? These hold 300 each. Oh, that is nubbly. Can I get another pair? I don't know how much I like the way that looks. Holy crap. Well, that's 300. That's 300 each. They're in 6s. Perfection. How wibbly is that? Isn't that gonna, like, snap in half? Let's see, how much fuel does that... How much ore does that hold? 300 times 12, basically, right? That's 3,600 ore. It may extend it with a small girder and you should be fine. Alright, let's grab those. I like the way you guys think. See, is that a small one? That's a modular girder section. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, I like that a lot. I think even that smaller one will do. Oh, no, that's like a baby one. That's extra large. And there are other sections. I-beam. These are just beams. Yeah, I guess we'll use this. That there. And then I think what I would want to do is grab this and scrooch it a little. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there. There you go. 4 tanks in symmetry and strut it up. Oh, that might be a good idea too. Here, let's try 4 tanks. That might be a little more sane. That looks a little more sane because they're not all clipping through each other, and the clipping worries me. Okay, then what we do, like in the center there, and then just strut it like right to the bit. That. Strut all of these together. Like I'll go all the way around, yeah. Strut all of that together. Strut every one of these to the tank. This is so fucking stupid. I love it. Oh, how much does that weigh now? That's really not that heavy. That is really not that heavy. Oh, boy. Okay, let's see here. 300 by 8. It's 2,400 ore. That's nearly enough to fill this fuel tank, and we could always send more of these up later. That laughter is not something you want to hear when it comes to rockets. It'll blow up really pretty. Roach, ye of little faith, buddy. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, at least I have a lot of money. The space station itself will provide power. Make sure the ore tanks don't start. Oh, I don't think that's possible, right? No. Oh shit, you could actually fill them with ore here. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, no, those are empty. They're pretty light when they're empty. Now we just have to design a rocket that could safely get this to the moon. I mean, getting to the moon's not terribly difficult. It's just this is a big doodle. I know. You have just the right amount of faith. Exactly, Roach. Something we could also do just to double. We could add more battery. Well, the battery pack. This battery pack would have to be mounted in the nose here. Generally, what I like to do is every time I increase. Oh, that's a big one. Generally, whenever I'm increasing the size of the space station, I like to increase the battery capacity too. Probably shouldn't be adding more weight to the top though. We'll put it on the bottom. Put it on one of those bad boys. Although, I mean, well, this section is only 50,000. Could always add on a little more power. A bunch of these wouldn't even get in the way. They're pretty light too. Yeah, fuck it. It looks cool as well. If we're gonna design something, we might as well over-design something. I love it so much. It's so awful, and I love it so much. RCS and we already got the docking port, so now we need RCS on this. Probably put the it's we're gonna need a couple thrusters. I would say for safety's sake 3 sets. Maybe a small monopropellant tank. All right, so we'll start. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start right here. Put on a set there. The next set is gonna go like on the battery. Right at the bottom here. I didn't do just 2 up here, did I? No, I did 4. And the last set I'll put... Maybe I'll put them on the... Well, ideally... Well, those... I wish those were rotated a little. Save the liquid. The Werner engines you're talking about? The problem with the Werner engines is they only go in one direction, right? Yeah, they only fire in one direction. So that means if you want to actually control a spacecraft in motion in 3 dimensions, you need to put more of them on. Well, I don't need parachutes? I don't need parachutes. Oh god, I don't need that either. I definitely do not need parachutes. We'll put this at the top, just the tip. Sure it's in line with the rest here. Just the tip. I don't like that it's not on the same, like radius as the other ones, but it's relatively safe. And I'm thinking what we do is the monopropellant tank doesn't need to be on this section. We put it on the actual engine. It just gets okay. We need to name this. Let's see. I'm gonna name this after the two people in chat who've been helping out a lot. This is gonna be the King Straga 1. There we go. Oh, someone else said add parachutes? Well, I mean, the only reason I would ever add parachutes to something like this would be to try to recover it. Oh, fuck, I just thought of something else. Would it be trying to recover it, in case of failure? The way I see it is if we're gonna fail, we're gonna fucking fail. Reaction control wheel on it. Help maneuver it around. The right stuff, Mark 1. Okay, now we actually have to design a rocket that will lift this into orbit and to the moon. So let's start by giving ourselves a little room here. And I think what the aerodynamics aren't that bad on this. It's got a little bit of nibblies on the side, but it's not that bad. You volunteer your name for the new heavy lift vehicle, Roach? The Roach 1. All right. Because this is a docking port, we actually don't need a coupler, so we can just attach everything else below this. Yeah, that's the right size. I was like, we gotta go up a size. Now, this is one size bigger. No, that's... Oh, God. Fuck me. What I'm thinking is we have a, It doesn't actually need to be a fuel tank, but... This is gonna be the biggest, heaviest thing I've ever launched by a long shot. Would those sloped nose cones for the ore tanks work? Oh, probably not, because they'd mostly just clip inside of the other ones. I don't think that would do much. They don't overhang by very much, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. And that would just be adding more weight on, like me complaining about adding more weight on. Is this the largest size? No, it gets bigger. This one. Okay, good. What I'm thinking is we use a like a high IS specific impulse engine on this section, and then a heavy lift section. Or I could just throw an engine onto this. Fuck it. Getting bigger. Offset the tanks. The launch field could be short and squat to shut down on a total length. That's what I was thinking is we flare out to the larger section. Right under the docking port, we put an orbital rocket that is fed from the fuel tanks to the top. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Roach, because I put this on there, and then I thought, you know what? The fuel tanks at the top. Wait. I just thought of something. Can fuel pass through a girder? Is it possible to pass fuel from these tanks to this one? Because there's just a girder there. There's not an actual section. Do I need to put in a fuel line between those two? Throw on a fuel line? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, it wouldn't be... I just need one fuel line. From there to there. That's all it needs. Alright, for safety's sake. Can you check the direction of the fuel? I don't know. I think it says if you right click the part. Well, what if I... auto stretch rigid attachment off. Fuel delivery overlay. It looks like it goes through that line right now. So what if we take the line off and see what happens? It looks fine, actually. I'm seeing fuel. I'm seeing a green line go straight through. So it looks like it's okay. We'd always test it out, too. What is this cool looking thing? This is a fuel processing facility that's going to the moon. Girders can, yeah, girders have fuel lines in them. It's fine. So yeah, I think what Roach's idea was a good one. Is we take a, what size engine is it? It's not this. No, yeah, no, it's not that one. It's this one. So it's either going to be, let's see, which one has a higher vacuum ISP? So it'd be the Rhino engine. Oh no, it's not the Rhino engine. Is the Mastodon the only one that fits on there? There's got to be another engine section. Is it the Poodle? Poodle's too small, right? No, the Poodle fits on there. I just put a Poodle engine on that. That's what, 350? Radial mount engines on the side. I don't think I'm going to need to do that just yet. The mainsail? Well, ideally, I'd want the engine with the hot. Well, that's some crazy burns. The Wolfhound. Oh, so the Wolfhound fits, which actually has a higher. Oh, so the Wolfhound has a higher specific impulse in vacuum, but a lower specific impulse on the ground. So that's an upper stage engine. Skipper. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So all that stuff fits on there. The mainsail. Probably want to go for something in the middle. I was thinking maybe the Skipper. Definitely not the Poodle. It's too... The thrust is going to make... That low thrust is going to make it annoying to try to... What the hell is a skiff? Oh, it's kind of like an all-purpose sort of thing. We could try a skiff. Do the shorter version. Remember to have a way to get the engine off the docking port. I don't need to. You could just undock it. I should be able to test that out. Should just be able to get rid of it. Well, this. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this thing out there, just to see what happens. Just to see how wibbly this thing is. And then we're going to have to put a heavy lift engine underneath it and strut the fuck out of it. How do I zoom in? Oh, there we go. So I should just be able to right-click on the docking port and decouple. Yeah. It doesn't need a separate... Oh, it hit the ground and just stopped. I was like... I thought it lagged out the game and the whole thing was going to blow up. These fuel tanks do have fuel in them because they are going to be used to move the whole thing where it needs to go. Basically, I just need a... I'll recover that. I just need a heavy lift section. Yeah, I'm gonna need a first stage. Yep. This is the stage that will maneuver it in orbit. In the Kerbal sphere of influence. So then we need to just attach on a heavy lift section underneath this. These tanks are not empty because there's no point in launching them empty because the fuel will be used to get it to where it needs to be going. Otherwise, I'm going to be lifting more weight because I'm going to need fuel and more fuel tanks. So we need a coupler there. Oh, that's wrong. Is this a smaller engine? Oh, that is a smaller engine than is on that is that mount then. That's my bad. So it looks like we're gonna go with a Skipper. Perfect. Is there a variant? No. My bad. It would be lighter. No, it won't. No, it won't. It won't be lighter. If I empty the fuel tanks, I have to put on more fuel tanks. So then I'm launching empty fuel tanks, extra fuel tanks to hold fuel, and all the fuel, instead of just launching one set of fuel tanks and the fuel. The fuel doesn't need to be, doesn't need to go anywhere. It just needs to be used to get it there. If I empty the fuel tanks, I'm still launching empty fuel tanks plus more fuel tanks. And then ideally we want a heavy lift section right here. And these would be together. Do we want to go bigger? Is this the big one? Bigger section? Flare it out? Because it looks cool? That's the biggest one. What size engine fits this? The big ones, right? Yeah, the big ones. Flared rockets are sexier. 100% agree. 100% agree. Holy crap, is that tall? Give me that Saturn V. You know, and then just for just for shits and giggles, you grab one of these, you put it under there, you put that on. No, we don't need that. We don't need that. What's the thrust to weight ratio? Too low. Too low. But that's okay, because we can fix that. Are there any other engines that fit this? I think it's just these two. This one has slightly higher thrust, but lower efficient. Oh, actually, this would be the Mastodon would be better. Well, that doesn't fit on there right either. Got it. Oh, hey! That's the one that fits on there. That little bastard. What's the thrust to weight on that? Whoa! 2.17. That's plenty. That is plenty. So that's 2,000. Then I'm thinking a bunch of solid rocket boosters for funsies, and we go. Yeah. Some fins and a bunch of solid rocket boosters. Why not? What's the gimbal on these bad boys? Holy crap. 3,800 thrust. 3,800 kilonewtons of thrust. Vectoring range is 2. That's not very much. Do we want more? Do we want a bigger fuel tank for a bigger section here? Could oh, that's not the right size. Oh, I'm on the wrong ones. Is it these ones? Nope. These ones? That's the super massive ones. These ones? Yeah, it's those ones. Maybe give it a little bit more juice. That's the big one, right? Yeah, that's the big one. Could do 2 of these. You know what? Make it larger. I don't think that's necessary though. I think we're gonna go with the original idea by using this for the heavy launch, the heavy lift capacity, and then we'll just put a bunch of solid rocket boosters on it to give it the initial oomph. Forgetting something? Oh, I'm sure I probably am. Let's see. We got command and control. We don't have an RCS tank, do we? No, we don't have an RCS tank anywhere on here. We don't need a buck ton, so we'll probably use radial mounts for that. What if we use a couple of these bad boys? Is that too much? It's probably too much. These are... This will give me 80. Can the converter make RCS fuel? It can. Well, the inline tank that would fit this would be... Well, actually, you know what we could do? We could put an inline tank at the nose. That's adding more weight to the top. And no, and we don't want the RCS on this section. The RCS has to be on this section. You know what? We'll just throw some radio here. What if we just... This is fine. A couple radial tanks right there. Because this section gets ditched. There we go. This thing's beautiful. How much does it cost? 132,000? It's not even the most expensive thing I've launched. This thing has direct communications built in, so it doesn't need an antenna. It's not going far. It's got power. Yes. Doesn't need science. Doesn't need any of this. I think we're good. I think we're set. We just need to throw on some solid rocket boosters and we're good to go. So we'll start with 6 for those kickbacks. Do those have enough, those actually do have enough to lift it. Oh, that's beautiful. And then we'll, should we recover these? I feel like we should recover these. Like, should we full on Elon Musk the shit out of this? You got a problem with 6 kickbacks, Roach? You got a problem with that? And I know from experience, 1 parachute is not enough to save these. So I'll put on 2. Go with a big monopropellant tank between the origin and converter and hold monopropellant. 2 would be enough. Well, what's the fun in 2? What's the fun in 2? And I mean, with 6, I have enough. I have enough thrust to, you know, get them off the ground in one go. So these would go first. Move the parachutes up. So decouple. Turn this engine on. That's there. 1 to second fuel tank give you enough thrust to weight ratio and delta V alone. It would also make the rocket much taller. And the rocket is already very, very, very tall. And, also, solid rocket boosters are fun. Just gonna go ahead and, strap these bad boys together. Eliminate any wibbly. Just added 100,000. No, I didn't. It was 136 before. Before I added those on, it was 136. This cost 2,700 a piece, not 20,000. Okay, I think we're ready to go. It doesn't have any fins, which worries me. Point of interest regarding solid rocket boosters. Usually they only use to improve the thrust to weight ratio at launch. Well, that's how people who do things the right way play the game. I play the game. Well, I mean, if I didn't blow something up at least once a stream and make a crazy design, people wouldn't be happy. It's a fine line of success and crazy failure. And shit, if it works. It's only a stupid idea if it doesn't work. I gotta get that on a shirt. I gotta get that on a shirt. It's only stupid if it doesn't work. And look, the thrust to weight ratio on 6 of these is enough to get it off the ground. Install a few Septrons to push them away. Maybe what if I put on a pair at the midpoint just to, or put him at the top to push it away? No, that's unnecessary. I mean, seriously, like, it's honestly very simple. It looks crazy, but it's only 3 stages because it's not, it only has it has a very simple mission. We're gonna try this fucking thing out. We got money for failure. I'm thinking maybe the last thing we do is add on a couple fins, just for safety's sake. For safety's sake, for wibbliness. Or those clip? Oh, those are actually angled down. That does clip through the SRBs. But if I put on 6, they wouldn't. Even better. Have you seen the size of the tail fins on the Saturn V? They are little tiny baby winglets. Okay. Hey, Roxora. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens. I have money for failures, so I'm okay with this. Holy crap, spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch. This is the largest and heaviest thing I've launched. I think. Maybe. The fuel tanker I put into orbit was pretty heavy, too. Oh, I should. There's a lot of bounce in there. There was a lot of bounce in... Just sitting on the launch pad, there was a lot of bounce in this area. Alrighty. Well, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, I wasn't anticipating any problems at this stage. It's when the next engine has to take over might be the problem. Auto strut for the win. I'm not exactly very good at auto strutting things. I'm not 100% sure how that concept works. Can't wait for the flip. Well, it depends. I mean, these guys don't have a lot of gimbal, but I got fins. This is the part that is like, okay. This part right here. Look at those bastards. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, did you see? Oh, there's so much wibble. That is the wibbliest thing I've ever seen. All right, up. There's so much bounce and wibble in that. Holy crap. This is fine. If I can keep the engines on, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, no, one more. We got this. I need more struts. I either need an auto strut or strut. All right, this is fine. Hang on. And full power. Yeah, come on. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Yep. Lean into it. I got this. This is fine. Oh, God. Oh, my God. This is going to snap off. Oh, God, come on. Up. Yeah, keep your fucking nose up. Oh, shit. Fuck. This is fine. Midsection's connected by 2 Kerbals holding hands. This is fine. No, I just gotta wait for it. Flip around again. This is fine. I have an idea this time. All right, now that we're facing up, we're gonna use a little bit less thrust. Okay, this is fine. Oh boy. Oh boy. How do you auto strut? Auto strut heaviest part. Oh, that helped. That helped. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, everything's fine. Trying to get it back on 90 degrees by overcompensating the other direction. Actually, we're 45,000 meters. All right, now we flip back because we're just about 90. Let's stop the overcompensation. We're gonna get rid of the ass in a second. This is fine. This is fine. All right, what's our apoapsis here? Oh, it's in space. This is fine. Roach, you go to hell, Mr. I no way in hell it's gonna work. You go to hell. Oh my god. Now that was a launch with style. Oh yeah, that was where the wibble was. Still plenty of time for failure. Nah, we should be pretty good now. We got 3,000 Delta V, and there's a tanker in orbit if we need it. Having to do that launch in real life. Well, we have enough Delta V for circularization. It's like, you need to get up to something, what, like 2,200 Delta, 2,200 meters per second or something like that. I've got 2,600 Delta V. We might need to actually dock with the fueling tanker to make sure there's enough fuel to get to the moon and stop. Either auto-strutting, you know, right at the beginning, or just putting struts on, probably would have been for the best. But, it's relatively easy to control, because I do have a reaction control wheel on there. It's got power, so I've got these all over the place.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hey, Kilva. Auto strut equals winning. Yeah, was... I honestly didn't know that was a thing, or what I mean, well, I knew it was a thing, but I wasn't exactly sure, like, what the concept of using it was. Havosk 085, thanks for the diddly. Would have hit the kill switch the second it started to flip. Oh, yeah. Most assuredly. And, I mean, we do need, like, 800 Delta V to, you know, maybe say 1,000 for safety's sake to get to the moon and actually dock with the thing. So we might need to steal some fuel tank from our orbital tanker. But that's okay. And Yulia. Thanks for the follow as well. Speaking of which, I was like, there's the moon. Where's our tank? It's just not marked right now. Oh yeah, like aerodynamics would have ripped it to shreds. The second it went, you know, like, you know, 30 degrees over. Nothing about that launch is safe. Well, Roach, if that was a manned launch, it would have been successful. You doubted my my rescue mission of Samlorf too. To shreds, you say? Exactly. But there is a reason that most of my crazy designs are automated. It's because I've got no save scrubbing on, no mid-mission loading. So all failures are permanent. which is why these days most of my missions are probes, unless I'm like 90% sure it's gonna work. Julia, that works too. Julia. That I could pronounce. Why is my dog licking my foot? Prograde. Just put it on prograde now. And we'll circularize this, and then we'll see where we stand delta V wise. Yeah, I got up to about 100. There we go. Nice. 1,200. That's definitely enough to get to the moon. Foot. Oh yeah, Penny's under my chair right now, licking my foot. Hey, Roach, I only lost the space station because my parachutes failed to deploy for some reason. That's the only reason I lost the space station. Alrighty. A very large upper stage. Oh yeah, because this is a fuel processing lab. So this whole thing is going to the moon, and this is going to be able to turn my mined ore into liquid fuel and oxidizer. Yeah, I got too lewd for Twitch. We got to go back to our tracking station though. Give the dog control. Penny always pops up in the chair eventually. Well, she was in the chair earlier. I cannot see. What is it? It's probably gonna be probes. Misfortune 1. Yeah, that's what we need. Go back to King Straga. I am going to, just to be safe, I think I'm going to transfer a little bit of fuel over to this. I am 99% sure that the delta V left in this is fine for what I need. I just want to be double sure, so I would like to have a little bit more fuel in here. So there we are. There's Misfortune, set as target. Let's just add a maneuver. Raise up our orbit just a little. Oh, too far. Just a little bit. Let's nope. Lock that. Separation 100 kilometers. That's too much. So we'll just adjust a little bit. Scrooge it out this way. This won't be hard. Fortunate that your wobblies. No, that was not fortunate. That was skill. No, I after I gained control of it, I purposely corrected the inclination on the ascent. See how close can we get this? 12 kilometers. I can make that work. It's off by a little bit. Can we? That makes it worse. We can correct that a little bit too. It was mostly right, but we can correct the inclination here and get these closer. We're at 3-4. There we go. 3-4. 2-4. 1-5. 1-2. 1-2. Pretty good. Skill. Oh, Roach, don't give me that. I even said it out loud when I was doing it. Yeah, depending on my ability to intercept and close 1200 delta V would get me there. I'm 90% sure I could do it with 1200 delta V. I'm just, you know, that I don't want to fuck it up. I'm just gonna transfer over like 300 delta V worth of fuel just to give myself more wiggle room. And we gotta wait 4 hours. I'm gonna do that from the tracking station. Ye of little faith, Roach. That was a 100% successful launch. 100%. We have a couple more sections of the mission to do, but other than that, Roach of Little Faith. Actually, that was fine. Get it under like 30 minutes. Choose to believe what I was programmed to believe. That is an acceptable answer. All right, so now we'll go back. Docking will be really easy with this. It's very controllable. And actually, we could test out the RCS on it too. We have a very advanced probe core, so we're pretty good to go. So we can just point at the maneuver. I love this probe core that allows me to point at my maneuver and my target nodes. It's amazing. Yeah, it should be a pretty easy docking. I mean, Misfortune, the actual fuel tanker, is pretty difficult to control. Just because it only has one set of RCS blocks on it. But I made sure that this one had more. Should be pretty simple. Alright, a 6-second burn is all we need. It doesn't have any wibble left on it, because we got rid of the butt. And we'll just do a full burn once we hit 3 seconds. We'll see how close that gets us. Missed it by just a hair there. Let's see. Actually, no! I overshot by just a hair, and it got me closer than I anticipated. The maneuver node had me at 1.5. I mean, I'm gonna have to do a pretty hefty brake here, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm doing this to get extra fuel, so anything I burn, I can just pull off the fuel tanker. We'll get it. We'll wait till we're like right there. Yeah. I mean, even without the reaction control wheel, could push it around pretty easy. All right, set that to target. Oh shit! It wasn't set to target before. It was set to orbit. My bad. Just actually, this is gonna line up pretty good. All right, burn. It should technically be within sight. .5, let's see, if we point it to target, it'll point right at it, so it's somewhere out this way. Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah, there's the fuel tanker. All right, no, this is easy. This is fine. All right, okay, let's go towards our target a little bit here. 2 meters per second sounds pretty good. Let's see, that's 1.3 kilometers. This one's 1.1, still too far. 6, 5, 4, 300. I'm looking for 200. 200, 100? No, okay, it's not going to 100, but that's okay. All is well. F4 to get a target box? Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. I always just eyeballed it in space, which made it a nightmare. All right, so we'll wait till we're a little bit closer here. And we'll... boop. We should be dead on this thing right now. Please tell me that someone's not trolling me. Target... God. Didn't actually do anything. Unless I'm just not looking at it. It's over this way. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That... oh, my God, I wish I knew that was a thing before. Oh, that's super cool. All right, open your doodle. Is control from here. That's fucking amazing. Here, let's switch over. Control from here. Can't really see it. I'm gonna get a little closer. That's fucking amazing. And it even tells you the exact distance. Ah, the more you know. That makes... Oh my god, I wish I knew that was a thing. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, let's use the RCS engines here to brake. Yeah, it's close enough for now. I think I already hit control from here. See that now. So, set as target. Turn those off. Set as target. There. And this guy is... Oh, he actually... I forgot that this guy actually has a target doodle on him, too. Alrighty. So, he's going to move his little doodle over. And now we can just switch back. He'll continue. Somebody told me that they don't actually move towards their nodes when you're not actively on the element, but they most certainly do. So if I put these both on there, they'll just auto point towards each other, and then all I have to do is basically give it a little bit of thrust. But just to be safe, I'm going to put it on docking mode because I am more adept at using docking mode than anything else. And we are going to aim the camera right there so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's drifting a little bit, but we could adjust. Move in a little closer here. They're kind of like slowly drifting around each other as they come in. And we could just... I'm just going to actually zoom this a little bit until they're a little bit closer. Then when I unpause, they'll auto-adjust, and I can tell to go towards each other again. Just two automated systems making out in orbit. I'm trying to do this with like the least amount of input as possible. Basically just letting the computer do it. Perfect. Let's see. Thinking we'll just fill these fuel tanks up. So we'll take this big one. Fill these bad boys. That'll probably be enough for what I was thinking of. They're relatively decent-sized fuel tanks, so I'm thinking that it'll probably give me the... I mean, I used, what, like 200 delta V to actually do this maneuver? 200 to 300, something like that. So I have to replace that plus a little bit extra. Should I give it more? Because I don't actually know how much delta V that is without undocking. I don't know if there's a way to check. What we could do is make sure this engine's off, shut down engine. Oh, but, you know, that's using this engine, but it's also using all the fuel in here. We'll do a little bit more. Why not? There we go. I think that'll probably be enough. Just kind of partially fill that tank. All right, now we'll undock. What do I want to do it from this side? Undock. Oh, now I got 2,000. Yeah, that's plenty. I got 2,000 delta V on this. That's plenty. I was shooting for more like 1,500, but that's okay. Now we're going to the moon. Inclination's pretty good. And if I remember correctly, we do want to do this kind of maneuver and come along like the backside like that to make sure we're going in the same direction as the space station. I think one of the space stations has a wonky orbit. That's what I remember. All right, simple enough. Getting to the moon is not a problem. There she blows. SAS on. Maneuver. Oh, this is exciting. 50-second burn, so we'll hit the node at 25. What's going on? We got our fuel processing facility in orbit. We refueled it to make sure to make double sure that it had enough fuel to get to the moon. Now we are sending our fuel processing facility to our moon base. It was a hell of a launch too, Utari. It had a lot of style. It had a whole lot of style. And then we met up with the, well, it's gone now, but we met up with the fuel tanker. We left in orbit just to give ourselves a little bit more wiggle room. See ya, Kilva. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Have a good day at work. Perfect. How's that look? Looks good. Moon encounter. Hey, buddy. There's the moon. We're behind it. Oh, yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna need a... This is gonna be good. It's gonna be a pretty easy break. And... yes, we're going the correct direction. There has definitely been times where I went to my space station and we did our insertion into the moon going the wrong direction. So the space station's going this way, and the object I'm trying to meet up is going the wrong way. So I had to do like a reverse in space. Now let's set this space station as our target. The inclination's off by 0.4 degrees, not too bad though. Drop our periapsis down to the right height. And it might not be easy unless unless it's like one orbit. We might have to drop down the apoapsis to make this easier. Add maneuver, and we just add in an orbit. Yeah, the time difference is so drastic, it just kind of flips right around. Yeah, and then it doesn't actually get anywhere near him. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop down the apoapsis 2 to make this a little bit easier. $800 meters per second left. Cool. Flip our butt around. And we are almost there. I am so happy with the way... I mean, nothing makes me happier than a successful mission with style points. If I could if I could have a rocket, like, get, you know, just a hair's breadth away from utter failure, but still succeed. Oh, shit, look at this. Whoop! Now we just have to wait. Beautiful. So, warp here. Beautiful. Excuse me. Hey, friendo. All right, retrograde to target. Just need to do a braking maneuver. We're just about there. Hey, Stromberg. Right now, we are bringing a fuel processing facility to our moon base. Yeah, it's mostly the inclination that was off there, but not too bad. And we're just about there. It's, distance... It's just out of sight. It's about 3 kilometers away. Let's go ahead and brake. And we'll, do that softer now that we're getting there. And whoop! And then we'll point towards target. And we will, plot our intercept here. Yeah, it's going, you know, the initial launch, not the initial, well, the first stage with the solid rocket boosters was smooth. And the top stage, once it was in orbit, was smooth. It was just that second stage of the rocket, which was a little on the wibbly side. $400. Generally, I like to get it to about 200. There we go. Perfect. Design and send a drilling rig and an ore lifter. Yep. The drilling rig, I don't think is going to be terribly difficult. I think the ore lifter will have to be a little bit more difficult because it has to be able to successfully land, take off, dock with the station, and hold all that ore. So that one's going to be the more difficult part, I think. If anything, this is probably the easiest section right here. Just because this doesn't actually need to do any, it just needs to stay in space. Once it's up here, doesn't need to go back. So this section was relatively easy. Boop. All right, let's there she blows. There's our space station. Pinpoint land, yes. Not just hit the orbital body. It actually needs to pinpoint it. All right, we'll zoom in a little here. And if I remember correctly, this is going to be in line. So we're kind of heading right towards where we need to be anyway. Could just break the drills into the lifter. Small ones don't weigh too much. I guess it depends on how efficient I want it. Oh, no, that's the... oh, yeah, actually, no, we're fine, because we're shooting for right here. Clampetron docking port, set as target. I think we're already controlling from here, but... control from here. Good. We'll get a little bit closer, and then we'll brake. This section probably weighs near as much as the rest of the space station, if not more. All right, that's close enough. Yes. So we're moving away now. Move in just a little bit more. Switch to the space station. I'm gonna control from here. We're going to target that right there. Set as target. Oh, the pilot in here. Oh, wait, can we level anybody up? Is there any way to can we level them up? Damn. All right, I have to do this manually. And the space station's a little on the wobbly side, but that's okay. I should have turned the RCS thrusters on that off. It's actually pretty easy to whip this bastard around. Probably should auto-strut the station one of these days. Boop. That's off. Docking mode. Lock the camera. All right, and RCS on. Oh yeah, pretty easy to control. Not too bad at all. Aim camera. Go left a little. Just a little bit more left. This will be a little bit more difficult to dock, but it shouldn't be crazy. Let's get a little closer to being lined up, and then we'll go back the other way. A little bit closer there. Yeah, that's better. I need to go down a little bit. Okay. What are we at? 38 meters? Does that say 38? Looks like it says 38. 36. Don't smash it. Well, we're only going half a meter per second, so even if we hit it right now, the worst thing that would happen is maybe bust on a solar panel. But we'll slow down a little bit once we get in there. I like to dock at about 2. So we'll brake just a little bit here. Right, just a little bit. 20 meters. There we go. Left. Pretty good so far. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Whew. Fuel delivery? No, this is a fuel processing station. Go ahead and put that... Wow! Those things extend really fast. And, we don't need the engine anymore. I mean, we could leave it on there for now. There's no point in getting rid of it until we need the docking port. Oh, you know what? Actually, the easiest thing to probably do would be to make we could set up the ascent and descent miner thingy with a Clampatron senior dock port, then probably dock onto that. But we'll wait to see, because I'm not gonna get rid of it until I have to get rid of it, but I will turn it off. I should probably shut down all the engines on here. Make sure none of them are on. Which engine's this? Oh, that's the escape pod. There we go. Beautiful. Fuel processing facility delivered. Oh, I love it. How much power does this thing generate? Electrical charge. So it's got 9,275 electrical charge. I don't know if there's a way to see... it can hold 2,400 ore in those small holding tanks. Yeah, that part of the mission complete. ISS levels. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting larger. Level up? Like, these guys, all these moon guys are all level 1, the poor bastards. Oh, that is beautiful. Ultimate power in the universe. Now, we need to go back and design a lander / miner, I think is what we're probably going to settle on. I don't know if these radiators... I honestly have no idea if this radiator section is massive overkill or not enough, but it looks cool. It sure does look cool. All right. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Roach, is that I'm going to need a new expansion section. What I could always do is, oh, you know, yeah, that's actually probably a good idea. Put on a expansion, decouple the engine, and put an expansion section on the back of this. Because otherwise, it would have to go, I mean, we have one more regular size docking port available right here. But, so that one's available. Can I auto strut this stuff? Auto strut to heaviest part. Like, do that for everything? Well, that, I think that'll help the station, right? Its wibbliness. Oh! Yeah, that actually helps. Maybe not burn all of my monopropellant doing that, though. Because there's a lot of... Yeah. Every single one of these sections has its own thruster block. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so, Commissar Roach had a great idea with the mining rovers. You could dock with the lander. That way you don't have to do, precise landings. Well, see, the thing I don't understand, I don't know anything about is how mining works in this game. So I already pinpointed an area I wanted to mine on the moon. There was a crater, I want to say it might be this crater right here. There was a crater that was already in line with the inclination of the space station. And, that was what I was, and so, and that had a lot of ore. How concentrated is the ore? Do I need an ore rover? Or can the drills just be on the lander? Can I just hit an area that's rich and have the landers on the drill, or the drills on the lander? You know what I'm talking about. The drills on the lander, and then it doesn't have to move anywhere. It just lands, drills down, fills up its things, comes back up, and docks with the station. But what I could do is I could definitely put an expansion block on when I could just add that on to the lander. Can have them on the lander, no problem. Good to know. I'm going to take a really quick restroom break, though, guys. And then we're going to go to the Space Center. And we're going to build this. Connoisseur of class, what I'm saying is, can't we just eliminate the rover? That's added complexity that it doesn't seem necessary. Unless I'm misunderstanding how mining works, there's no point in having a rover. You just land on the section that's rich and drill. Although, yeah, Razor, you're right. The mining rover does sound fun. I'd have a lander that only lifts reasonably heavy loads and rovers that stay there. Have the rovers coupled to the lander and then just drop them off to do the mining. Left the dog in charge. Yeah, the rovers can stay there. I understand that. But is there a point in having them other than because it's fun to build them when you can just attach the miners to the lander? That's the only thing. I'm trying to mechanically make sure I've got this sorted. Either way, we could probably do both. Super low orbit to have a better view of the moon. Also makes it easier to get back. Oh, yeah, I can lower the orbit. That's why I left the engine on there for now. Having the rovers will cut down on the mass I'm lifting. How? Oh, is the mining equipment really that heavy? Oh, so yeah, I didn't think about that. Let's take a look. How heavy is the mining equipment? Because if I don't have to lift the if the mining equipment's like several tons, and I don't have to lift that, yeah, then I get that point. So that's utility. The Drill-O-Matic Junior is a 1/4 ton. Drill-O-Matic mining extractor is 1.25 tons. That's pretty heavy. That's a lot of weight to be going up and down. So yeah, that's that. I get that. Alrighty. Now we have some complicated things. Use a robotic arm in the lander to attach to the rover on the ground and collect its ore. Oh, I think we're getting ahead of ourselves right now. Well, for starters, we need to put down an item. Not that I'm going to use this, just so that I can, you know, attach stuff in. I want to see how big this is. Oh, that's pretty big. Oh yeah, look at that. How much is what does the little one look like? Oh, the little one's cute. Oh, the little baby drill. It's a little baby drill. Yeah, but look how big that thing is. It actually just kind of looks like a really big landing leg with a nice drill bit on the tip. Just the tip. Okay, this doesn't need to have a pilot. I don't think. I kind of feel like an engineer would be mildly necessary. I feel like I don't know. My natural instinct is just say fuck it, make it automated. The lander should have should look more like a rectangle to have more space for the drill and storage. But if we're not putting the drill on the lander, it seems like the general consensus is it's better to have a rover do it. Train some oil rig drillers to be Kerbonauts. Yeah, it'll be easy. I mean, if the lander part doesn't have the drill on it, the rover has the drill. Put down 8 ore containers to see what it weighs. It's under fuel tanks. Let's see. So this is 0.84 tons. Really? That weighs that much? 1, 2. Well, you know what we could just do is 1 and 6. These are empty. So empty, these weighs 4.34 tons, including that. If we fill, that's all of these ones. Probably didn't get the center one, though. If we fill them, we're lifting 25 tons in ore. Make a lander with 2 rovers mounted on it, the best way to have a consistent stream of fuel. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is the lander is basically just going to be, it just needs to be empty ore tanks and a big engine, and it needs to have enough fuel to lift 25 tons. Because ideally, I'd want to be able to fill it in one go. I'd want, and there's 8 fuel tanks on the space station. Yeah, 2 sets of 4. So what we would want to do is design a lander that has a powerful enough engine to lift off 25 tons and meet back up with the space station. Those tanks are full. I know. I did that on purpose. I'm not going to be lifting empty tanks. I'm going to be lifting full tanks with ore in them. I need to know how much they weigh. They weigh 25 tons. I'm, you know, diddling there. Rounding it off. It was like 24, 25, a little more than 25. Are the ore tanks on the space station full? No. They're empty. The ore tanks on the space station are empty because there was no point in me lifting 25 tons of ore off of Kerbin. There's no point in doing that. Okay. So the big question is, do I need a Kerbal, or can I make this automated? Because I can easily make this a completely automated system. Yes, the rover would need ore storage as well. So the rover would be like, have like a big fat tank as a body, and then with like stumpy little rover wheels. I mean, if I wanted to make things simpler, I could probably get them there on a separate launch, too. Because what I'm thinking is we just automate it. Oh, it's way smaller than I thought it was. Kerbal would increase the efficiency of the actual transmuter of the fuel converter, but it doesn't be needed. Oh, I already got an engineer up there too, because there's a pilot, a scientist, and an engineer already on the space station. Use a cargo bay to hold the rover. Oh, I don't have I don't think there'll be an issue, you know, attaching it on there, but depending on the complexity of the lander, it might just be easier to do it in a separate launch. So if we know we can automate this, then we will do that. We will have it automated. That does mean I would need to attach on this, because this is a remote guidance unit. Yeah, doesn't exactly fit on there. Oh, I can't get rid of that without this in there. And it might be simpler to just... It might be simpler to just use it like that, because that just works in terms of keeping that at the tip of the vehicle. Oh, because that just makes things a little bit simpler, and we know we have a this size radial attachment port. Okay, now this thing needs to be freaking huge. How... Take the shroud off of this. That does not look like it'll actually fit tanks in it very well. The service... That's a big service bay. What is it? Ooh, there we go. That's what we're... I mean, we'd have to put an adapter on there so it doesn't look stupid. Want to load up KSP to make a competing... Go for it! It's... Oh, I love this game. You're gonna need the big docking port. Why do I need the big docking port? Oh, you know what? Actually, if I need the big docking port, I just put it on the top of that. Use an adapter to make the senior docking port fit the probe core. Oh, I know. It's just I was thinking it would be easier. Why do I need a big one, though? Is there a mechanical reason that I would have to have the big one? Is it like an ore transfer thing or a flow problem or something like that? Because if it is, you let me know. That's actually way bigger than I thought it was. I thought that was a little tiny one. 'Cause yeah, I could fit some stuff. I could fit some things in there. The big port for the big port on the back of the processor. Why is that necessary though? That's what I'm asking, because there are attachment ports of this size on the space station. It doesn't have to plug into the back of the ore processing facility. I can get it to plug into the other free regular sized normal sized docking port. Yeah, because I don't think there's... you're dealing with a large craft already, and you only have one small port in that station, and it's very close to the center of the station. That closes a lot of the... it does have fragile parts there. I did suggest making a senior docking port. What I could do is just put it inside here. Let's test something, though. How big are these in relation to this? That doesn't do it. That doesn't help me out at all. That does not help me out at all. Fuck. What I think maybe what if we do it the same way? Fuck. I was thinking a girder section and have them radially around it, engine below. Yeah, the large parts are more stable, but the space station's not going anywhere. And the stability is not really an issue, considering it's just a space station, doesn't need to move. Yeah, I could fit one of these in here, but I'm not going to. Let's see here. So we were talking about putting on a coupler section for the large ones. The only rational reason why I would want a large one that makes sense to me over a small one would be ease of docking away from the center of the station. Everything else other than that is not really a big deal. I have had stations rip apart by docking a large piece at less than 1 meter per second. I just docked a section onto my space station that was bigger than the rest of the space station at 0.2 meters per second, and it was fine. No, Roach is right about it. The only reason I would want the big one over the small one is the physical placement on the station of where those two docking parts are. The small one is near the center of the station, near a lot of like a lot of the what's it called, the photovoltaics, and the senior is on the back, away from all that stuff. It's just in a physically easier place to dock. So yeah, we would want to get the big one on just for that. So probably what we'll do is have to end up mount, because that has to be at the tip. This will get mounted somewhere else, down the rocket. I have a plan for that. I have an idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and work from that. I'm going to work down, and then I'm going to work up, and this will be the center. So what I'm going to go is structural. And we're basically just going to do this. And then it'll and then what we'll probably end up doing is flaring up on either side of this, and we'll radially mount the tanks in here just like we did before. Because what I could always do is like if I need to make this bigger, one of these I can flip around to make it bigger. Yeah. Because what this needs to flare out at the top so that we have a, and what we'll do is we'll build a large coupler section there for expansion that will detach from this. We'll definitely do two, the expansion section and this lander we can do in one. You only put on 7 ore tanks, not 8. Oh, yeah, no, you're right, because I did 6. So, 28 tons? But that's more of a... You're right about that, but that's more of something to... for when we're looking at the thrust-to-weight ratios for the engine section. Oh, you know what? It had one more structural section on here, too. It had one of these... And then what we'll do is we'll put on the tanks. Just so that we have something we're looking at here. And it was 4. Like that. And we strutted them together too. Hang on. Nose itch. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll make sure these get strutted together. That's basically what we're working with. And then what it'll do is it'll flare out and we'll strut it together. And there'll be the docking port up there. Yeah, we got the converter launched. Design committee is a room full of people yelling at the center. Well, in all fairness, like, a bunch of you guys probably have done this stuff before, and I haven't, so I have no trouble listening to other opinions. Yeah, so this part will flare out. And it'll flare out up here, too. Actually, what we could do to make this look... We might be able to make this look a little nicer. Because isn't there a structural section that kind of is like a square to, yeah. Flip that around. And then it needs to get bigger, because it needs to have a Clampatron Senior up here. So I think it's this one. I think that's the right size for the Clampatron Senior. Yeah. And then what we would also do is we would put on a coupler section here that would just get detached and left on the station. You've had to deal with bad docking placement before. So the extra docking station would be pretty simple. It would just be flip one of these around, stick it on there. And then like a structural section here. Like a big fat structural section. Is there a structural section that is that wide? Huh. Here, oh, Roach has got more ideas. Roach has got more ideas, everybody. Because this is something I have on the other station, on the station right now. What about putting the large dark docking port at the bottom of the lander, so it docks ass first? Is there a reason for that though? Is there a mechanical reason for that? You could cut out weight if you don't have to add the size adapter. Those are more for aerodynamics and whatnot. But it looks cool! What's this thing? This is going to be a... Well, it's the beginning stage of a lander? I know I could take those out, but sometimes I just do things because they look nice. Easier to get it off the ground from Kerbin. I'm not concerned about that. You know me, Roach. Why be concerned about things like that? As long as it does... I mean, I could always put the whole fucking thing in a fairing. And we'll strut all that together, too. So, yeah, no, there doesn't seem... Wait, what about a structure... No, structural tube. That'll do it. Just give me a tube. Is there a radial... Is there a big radial... Because I know there's a small radial attachment port. Oh, to make this work, would I have to do this? To make this a would I have to do that? It's beautiful. What's wrong with that? You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like those like World War II listening posts where it was like a guy with giant like ear horns attached to him. I can get that off the ground. I think that might be unnecessary though. I think what you could probably do. I think you could probably just do this. And that should... I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It should work just fine. And that would give me multiple attach... And then I put another one up here. And that gives me that gives me multiple attachment ports to build from. Yeah, Disney certified safe. There you go. I like the way you think. Disney certified, and then this section would just be decoupled and left on the space station. You know, like I'm not entirely worried about aerodynamics of getting it off the ground on Kerbin, because that's only going to happen once. It has to be reusable to the moon, but it only needs to get off Kerbin the one time. This is fine. And then we need to put an engine section on it. I love it so much. Can we paint these? Nah, it's a shame. Can I paint? I can paint that, but oh, it only changes one. I'll make it orange. So we got to remember that section's going to be disconnected, and oh, you know what? But it's not lined up the way I like it. I need to grab those off. It needs to be lined up like right on the center. There we go. What'd you miss? Well, we got the fuel processing lab set up and attached to the space station and the moon. Now we're building a lander. Always better to have a bottom-heavy lander. Oh, we haven't done the bottom yet. The top is basically nothing. It's empty space in a coupler. With the other docking port attached to the senior, will be really wobbly. Nothing should be wobbly here. I mean, that's just a radial attachment port. It shouldn't cause any wobble there. We haven't built the bottom of the lander yet. Might be better to move these up a little too. You know what we could do? Hang on, I got an idea. We might be able to just get rid of that. And then just move these up a little bit. Oh yeah, you can just get rid of that one because we put the other one on there. That makes it shorter. Check the center of mass. Well, we still have to put an engine section on. There's no point in checking the center of mass until we got the thing at least half built. Oh, the orbitals are attached perfectly fine. We'll strut it up a little. We'll put a little bit more struts on them to make sure they stay in place. But they're fine radially attaching to a girder. We did it on the other section, so they're good. So now what we need is a engine section for landing. And it needs to be. We need a pretty wide base on it. I think that's a little over. I think that's a little overkill, though. It's not that overkill. Oh, apparently Binks is sleeping with his face, like, in Penny's butt. Let's see if it shows up. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's Binks. Right over there. And that's Penny's butt right there, because that's a hind leg. And he's sleeping with his head, like, in her butt. Okay, that's actually not too bad. Oh, we got another picture coming in. Oh, look at them together. Look at them sleeping on that couch. Look at those cuties. Anywho. Maybe a squat. Oh, nope, not that. I was gonna say maybe a squat diddle there. And it needs a big fat engine. That's, I mean, you gotta remember that, you know, you gotta look at it like that. It still seems too tall. What if we just radially mount the tank? What if we eliminate the middle section and just radially mount the ore around the engine sec? That might be a better idea. Because that's 8 tanks right there. We can and then we can put some struts on there. We can move them down lower to lower the center of mass. Or we can keep them right there if we wanted, because that's 8 tanks. That's what we need. Get rid of the center section, because I forgot that, you know, we could radially mount on down here too. We need an engine. Let's go ahead and make sure this is set to the moon. Let's put an engine on it. We'll make sure these ore tanks are full. And what I could always do is take that part off, so we're not taking that into account. I have some more ideas too. So we need a engine that's got high thrust and good vacuum specific impulse that fits on this. Oh god, I forgot how. Or radial engines. That'll make it shorter. Radial engines. Which ones mount on the side? The thumpers? They're not that great in the vacuum. That's way too tall. Yeah, because... Hey! Who needs landing feet when you can land on your engine bells? Radial mount. Use the small, efficient ones. on the bottom, and on the bottom of the ore tanks. So just mount them on the tanks? Holy crap. It is symmetrical thrust. And it does have a thrust to weight ratio to get it off the ground completely full. It's unorthodox, but it's perfectly symmetrical thrust. And it has plenty, this is full fuel. That's plenty of fuel to get it to get it back up to a space station. Oh, it's got to come down too, though. No. I think that should be fine. 2100 to get down because it'll be lighter going down than it is going up. Step out of the other. This is highly illegal. It's not. It's only stupid if it doesn't work. It's only stupid if it doesn't work. Landing struts. Nice wide base. It's only stupid if it doesn't work. We do have to add more stuff onto it, so we'll have to check the thrust to weight ratio and the delta V, because the other lander that I have, David the Lander 2 and David the Lander 3, those are the ones that go down and up. I think they've been launching with like 1600 delta V, and they get down to the moon and back up. And this thing it'll weigh less on the way down. If I'm going to do mining rovers, I'm not going to bother doing that in one mission. I don't see that's added complexity, and I'm already making this thing fucking weird. I could launch those on a different, I could do those on a different mission. No, you could be a fan of the 36 engine designs. I mean, most of them blew up, but that's fine. Can I rotate these out of the way? Not really. I guess we'll just keep them in line. They can clip through each other. It's not a big issue. What's this for? This is going to be for getting ore to and from our mining station. How have things been going? Not bad. Not bad. We designed and built a mineral processing section. What we could also do here is we could add on another fuel adapter to make it pointier. Oh, I have an idea. It's probably completely superfluous. That one? This one? Oh, that doesn't fit. Trying to figure out which one would fit onto that one. I'm afraid it's this one. I don't want that one. It is that one. Because that makes this thing... Well, I mean, no, it's not that bad. That's really not that bad. And it gives me more fuel. I could make it bi-directional here. Structural section. This one? Is there a structural section that fits onto this? That's a big ass. What is this? Oh, it's just, it's like a winglet hardpoint for like mounting engines. That's cool. I don't think there's an ass for that. So what we could do is just throw that there. That way you could dock in either section. I've ever tried Kaiserreich? Yeah, didn't like it. Will it work with the thrust pointing out at the angle? Yeah, because it's completely symmetric. I really wanted an adapter to make it look better, but I didn't see one in there. I figured there would be adapters for each section to go onto each section, but that's just a tube. Oh, the rockets won't melt the legs. They're fine there. Could use the fuel adapter. Yeah, but that's really big and heavy, and I'm pretty sure it sticks out pretty far, doesn't it? It's like one of these guys down here, isn't it? Like this one? Yeah, it's pretty tall. That kind of changes the dynamics of this thing more than I was interested in. That's fine though. That'll allow me to dock it ass first if I want to. So I could dock the I can dock this diddly if I need to, and I can dock that diddly if I need to. It's multi-purpose. Like we could even test it. We could test out those legs. They should be perfectly fine. I don't think it'll be a problem, but we could test them out just to make double certain. Just do this and launch it. Let's go ahead and save that real quick. How are we going to get to the ore to the ship? I'm going to build a rover and send that over too. I've had a lot of people saying, hey, build the rover and send it over with this. But considering how weird this thing is to begin with and how heavy it's going to be to launch and whatnot, I think it'll just be easier to send the rovers in on a different mission. So we could just turn the engines on and... Oh, shit! That's not what I meant to do. I meant to not do that. Oh, I blew... Oh my god! Whoops! What? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. This is fine. Didn't mean to do that. No, meant to have those on a separate stage. That's what I meant to do. How expensive is that to fix? Is that expensive? How's the ore rover going to get into the ship? It doesn't need to go into the ship, does it? Just needs to be near it. Oh, it's only 60,000 to fix. This is fine. Although we are running a little low on money now. We got 450 left. It's fine. There's still some easy ways for me to get cash if I need it. That's a lot of debris. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah, just a little new paint and it's fine. So you just joined and I'm getting things right. You have already made a mining rig somewhere. Yep. And this is just, yeah, this is just like a test rig for moving the, that's what I meant to do. Moving
everything's
the ore
perfectly
from
all
the
right
moon
now. We're
to
fine.
the space station.
We're all fine here now. Thank you.
They needed to be attached to transfer the ore. Well, yeah, they need to be attached, but you said inside. They don't need to be inside each other. It doesn't need to have a bay that you drive into. Oh, no, I read that wrong. How's the ore in the rover supposed to get into the ship? Oh, no, that's a different problem for another time. So people were worried about these melting the legs off? No problems. Don't they have little, I've never done this before, but I saw pictures online of people, like, having them connected with pipes. Don't they do that? They're an interaction. Yeah, see? It's fine. It's not gonna melt the legs off. Here, we can, you can put the legs down. I do already have a refinery, yes. See? No problem. Oh, the pipes is modded. So I just need to have a... Do they need to have a docking port then? Because that's not a problem. Just put radially mount it. Drive it up and just have them... Just try to make sure... I think the only issue there would be to make sure that they have either... wheels on the front that I could adjust up and... Or the wheels would need to be adjustable up and down for height. Or the land... Oh, yeah, no. Because you can do it by both sides. You could adjust, like, the suspension on the wheels, and that'll adjust the height. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. And for those who just joined who said they wanted to... Who's wondering about my space station, that's already there. Use the claw attachment. That's an option. Not Penelope. We're looking at... Garrick 3 is where it is. There it is. So this section of the space station has been there for a long time, which is why it's got a lot of... You can see it's got steadily, like, newer technology as you go from here, like, out. So it was command section and extra fuel tanks. That's my little lander. This is my current lander that I use for science. Processing. No astronaut. Is there any science in there? A little bit. Communications. And this is the ore processing facility. So there's the converter, 8 fuel tanks, and then big fuel tank for storing the fuel and radiator panels. You can use pistons and joints and a docking port on the front. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait, I have an idea. What if... Okay, this is gonna be so fucking cool if it works. What if... Hear me out. What if we mount the legs lower? We use 4 of them, and we mount the legs lower on the lander. That leaves it pushed higher up off the ground. Then we put a docking port on the top of the rover, and we keep it short. We just build it to be short. Then we drive, and we put pistons on the side. Or on the bottom. Then we drive, so we land the lander, then we drive the rover under the lander, engage the pistons, and it rises up. We either rise it up or we lower the lander a little bit by adjusting the suspension on the legs. And they meet like that. I'm thinking it's probably we land the lander, drive under it, and then we raise the rover up with pistons. That's what I'm thinking we do. Doesn't that sound freaking amazing? Oh, we could even test it out on the on Kerbin to see if it works. That sounds awesome. I mean, I'm pretty proud of this thing in and of itself. That we actually got this launched and attached to the space station. Could possibly go wrong. I think the worst case scenario is that you engage the pistons way too hard. It slams into the bottom of the rover, and they don't couple, and it flips over. Just put the wheels or the lower section of the rover on pistons. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We just have to make... The only thing we have to make sure of is that the lander would... We may have to make sure we land in a flat area. And we just mount the legs lower. And we use only 4 of them. So that there's clearance. That's not a lot of clearance. It might be enough. I don't know. That seems like a lot. Like we're talking. Oh yeah, no, because we're talking about like that. That's plenty. That's plenty of clearance right there. I don't like having them mounted that low, but that's enough clearance. Just have some landing legs on the rover and use those to raise it up. Oh yeah, I could do that too, because when they rotate down, they push the thing up. Should use a smaller docking port. Yeah, but I wanted to have the big docking port. I mean, what's the problem with just strap a big one of those? The big one might make it easier. I know you don't need to, but for real, but have you cycled a new scientist to my space station around the moon so those poor Kerbans don't spend the rest of their lives in space? No, they've been up there for 8 years and they know it's a permanent assignment. Although one guy that was in a almost 9-year-old space station around Kerbin did successfully return after we deorbited this, after we, you know, got rid of the space station and deorbited it. No, not 2. I mean, I'm happy. 6 might. I mean, 6 is probably good. I think that would leave enough room to drive in. We'd have to double check, but let me get rid of this. We're gonna call this. I'm just gonna call it for now. We'll name it after somebody in chat late before we launch it. But for now, it's just Fuel Lander 1, so I can save this. Oh yeah, it'll need more stuff. I mean, we're not done with it. We're basically just setting up the basics right now. Like, it wouldn't be difficult to make sure it has power. We can just take the bottom off, grab a chargeable battery pack, put that on there, grab a couple solar panels and maybe some small ones. It doesn't need a lot of power. Strap a bunch of the small ones to the side. They're pretty light. There, it's got power. It's got photovoltaics. There are no legs that could give more clearance. No, that's as much clearance as I could give. I mean, I might be able to get a little bit more if I move this up, because it was like there, I think. I don't know. Oh yeah, it actually clipped in. That gives a little tiny bit more clearance actually. Just move it up just a hair there. Gives a little bit more. Pistons as legs for the lander make me a little nervous. I've not used pistons yet, so. It needs RCS. It definitely needs RCS. So, I don't want to mount, like, I could mount an inline one up here. I don't want to add more weight to the top, though. Because it needs to be able to dock. So we need a thruster block down here. And I'll put a set of thruster blocks there. That's good. Don't love it, but it's good. Monopropellant tanks. And I don't need much monopropellant. How much? Well, maybe... Nope. Maybe this one? Nope. This one? How much does that hold? 120? It might not be too bad. There we go. These cone-style landers. That's... Well, actually, you know what? This is David the Lander 4. Not Dakid. David the Lander. Because my first 3 designs were David the Lander 1, 2, and 3. And now, so this will be David the Lander 4. Because everybody said they looked like gnomes. So instead of David the Gnome, David the Lander. Usually make a miner with a nuclear rocket so it can go back to the station without needing a bunch of infrastructure for shuttling the ore to orbit. Make a miner with a nuclear rocket. I'm not sure where we're going here. Make a miner. You're saying you send the miner back to the space station? What? Miner with a nuclear rocket. So it can go back to the station without needing a bunch of infrastructure for shuffling ore to orbit. Let's see here. It's got RCS, power. It's kind of derpy looking, but I like that. It's got a big and a little coupler. The miner itself goes to the station. Oh, see, yeah, we discussed that earlier and decided against doing that because the miner weighs like 1.5 tons. So every single time you're lifting the miner up and down from the station, you're burning more fuel than you would have with a separate section. Nah, I'm not gonna mount a drill on this guy. I mean, well, I mean, I don't want to. We already talked about this. We talked about doing a lander and a rover. We're staying on mission. Staying on mission here. We're staying on mission. We've got a plan. We're gonna drive the rovers underneath the lander, and they're gonna couple into this thing. We can even jack the, you know what might be a good idea? It might actually work if we lower the docking force to 0, drive under it, and then just all of a sudden throw the docking force up to 100. They might just go and slap into each other. Okay. I think that's done. I don't think it needs anything else. 2200 Delta V is plenty to get from the station to the ground and then back up. So now we just need to design the rover to go, yeah, like the Magnus at car wreckers, yeah. The miners tend to be relatively small and lightweight, but the miners aren't small. Well, only the small miners are small and lightweight. The big ones for processing large amounts of ore are 1.5 tons. Yeah, we could design the rover in the space plane area. So let's make sure that's saved. What'd you miss? We're just designing some stuff. Which, we've never upgraded this. Oh god, it's expensive. I don't think we need to. So, it just needs to be a couple tanks. Like, the base of it just needs to be a couple tanks laid along the side. We're gonna test this on Kerbin first before we send it anywhere. Oh yeah, I didn't want to, we discussed going to Minmus, but this is the fuel processing center is basically our like galaxy like hub to the rest of, our solar hub to the rest of the solar system. And Minmus is off kilter from almost everything in the solar system. So going to Minmus and doing it there makes it easier, but it also means burning more fuel to correct for inclination after for future missions leaving from there. So the moon is a little more hard to work with and a little more inefficient on the fuel processing end, but is more efficient on the mission end. So we're gonna, how many of these do we want to lay together? Oh fuck, we just zoomed right past it, didn't we? Two seems like a good length. If I did 4, it means I would only need to do 2 trips. Although that seems a little crazy. Okay, so overkill. Those seem better, but they're I mean, can we just use the little baby ones? Like 1 million of the little baby ones? Or maybe something like this? Although that has, I mean, we need ground clearance. Two? Think two better? Getting the ore from Minmus to the moon? That's a completely unnecessary step. There's no reason to do that. Girders, I guess. Structural stuff. Well, what we can do is put a battery on its nose. Here, let's put a battery on its butt. And, remote control system on its face. And the most important thing... Oh, God, I just thought of something. How big are these? Oh, those are huge. Can you make these shorter? No, you could just paint the over the stripe. I was really hoping, I mean, that's a pretty big one. No, those are way too tall for what I wanted. What I was thinking was mount the, instead of lifting the whole thing up, you could just change the, you just put the, put them like some sort of motor underneath the docking port and just raise the docking port up rather than the whole thing. Some sort of chassis for the wheels. That's probably true. Oh, you know what? Yeah, the smaller ones are still way too tall. These are rotors. That's just a hinge. Yeah, there's hinges, but that's not what I want. Turbo shaft engine. Rotational servos. Yeah, I just need it would just need to go be able to go straight. Clip it into the tank. That seems cheesy. I don't like cheese in it if I can avoid cheese in it. What we could easily do is just put some structural stuff underneath this. Something like that. And then mount the wheels off of that. Box chassis. And make it low on the tank. Is that under here? Are we talking about like this? Oh, like that? And then mount like that? And then mount the wheels off of that? Can I put another one of these on and snap it to the front? Hang on. Hang on, I got an idea. Whip! Whip! Look at that. Look at that bad boy. Let's see. We could attach wheels to that, right? If I can get them rotated correctly, I could. Oh my god, I love it. And I messed up the rotation and got completely confused. No, that's not the right one. This one is right. 2 sets of 4. And then maybe just... Oh god, I was gonna say maybe mount the pistons on the sides. I kind of love it. I kind of love it. It's so freaking cute. Oh my god, it's so cute. It's so goddamn cute. I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna drive it. I just want to drive it. You know what I could do? Oh. Oh my god. Oh, it's like a little piggy. Holy crap. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Turn the steering off on most of these. Make it front wheel drive. Front wheel drive only. How much does it suck? It's pretty good on the power consumption. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's cute. Zoom. Okay, brake. There we go, it's fast. All right, that's a good start. That's a good start. I like it. I like it. Need to limit the speed. Yeah, way too fast. So yeah, it's a Tesla prototype. It's completely electric. Oh yeah, that's a good point. It's empty. That's a good point. Penelope 1 is still operational too. Yeah, she's perfectly fine. I'm just gonna make sure we turn all the back pairs off on the steering. Did I get that one? I did. Save that. And let's just test. Let's just watch it fill it with ore and the wheels just snap off. Hello, Zatumi. Ahoy, hoy. Fill it with ore and just... I have to test it with the lander, too. That's good. A little slower, a little fatter. But no. So if anything, it's easier to control when it's full. New Year 4 campaign when? Probably sometime this next month. Took a little break from it, but I've been missing the game. Yeah, look at that. That's fine. Perfectly controllable, at least on Kerbin. It's a little slow. Sucks down some power. So it would definitely, we need to strap some photovoltaics to it. Obviously, I mean it's an autonomous rover, so. And it needs a docking thing on its back. Hey, big girl. That's a big dog right there. What a big dog. Just the biggest dog in the world. Yes, you are. All right, well, we know that drives. Gonna need a lot of power when the drill is running. Yeah, I mean, I'm testing it incrementally. There's a couple other things we need to figure out for, before we do that. Before we do anything else. Like, it needs to have one of these mounted on its ass, which means I think I'll probably need a radial attachment port for that to work. Is that structural? Slap one of those right on its butt. It's getting a little tall, but we could always try to squish it down a little. Penny took a nice poop. Well, that's a good girl. That's just the best girl. Beep. That's upside down. Beep. It's a little taller than I was hoping. We can fix that. Let's go ahead and scooch the wheels up a little. Yeah, that's some like Ferrari ground clearance right there. Let's move those up. It's beautiful. I don't see any problems with this. For trial, load the rover on the runway and the lander on the launch pad. That's what I was thinking. Although, I don't know if this could drive up the slope to get there. Probably while it was empty. Here, let's, should we try that? Or can we just load in that thing right here as well? Well, here, what we'll do, we'll launch this. We'll launch this and leave it on the pad. Oh, you know what? You're experimenting with designs for an it's an electrical mining rover. Because this is actually, it's got to sit there for a hot second and drive a distance. I'm gonna put a photovoltaic on the side, just so, because I gotta drive it to the launch pad, so I can test out something. Wait, can I just put the, No, I haven't upgraded the space plane hangars. That's probably not going to work. Load up David the Lander 4. Don't put any part, vessel. So we're just going to launch this. And then we're just going to leave it there. Oh, wait. Does it start with the legs up or down? Shit. That should be okay either way. So we just got to leave this on the launch pad and then drive over to it. And all should be well. Oh, no, it's fine. I don't know. That clearance. We'll see. That's we might be talking really close on the clearance. But as long as it can maneuver under there, we should be okay. God, if this fucking works. I'm really hoping just the magnetic force idea is going to work. But we'll test it out right now and we'll see. Oh god, I'm over on time. Alright, this is going to be the last thing we're going to do today. We're going to test this out and then we're going to have to call it a stream here. We'll have to pick this up next time. Alright, so open up Piggy Pants. Put some... Here, let's give him a... Give him a pair of photovoltaics. Retractable ones. And launch him. And then we'll drive him over there. We're actually going... We'll do this... We'll do this unloaded to make it easier. Just because it'll take a bit. Doop, boo, doop, boop, boop, boop. I love this game. Coming up with crazy ideas is like half the fun of this game. All right, let's extend his ears. Aw. He's got to drive... Oh, God. We have to drive 1.6 kilometers. That's a runway. It is a runway, after all. Just have to make sure we don't crash him. Look how cute he is. Look at him. I mean, he doesn't have a drill. I mean, he doesn't have a drill, so we could probably just attach that to his ass or something. I freaking love... It's so cute. It's so freaking cute. And if we need more room, we just make it longer. It's not going to take that long to get there. It's not too bad. Oh, shit. This is fine. This is fine. All right, all right. Remember, going pretty fast here. Don't fuck it up. That was a pretty hard turn. Oh, downhill, downhill, downhill. We're good. We're good. We're good. Zoom. This is not too bad. There, okay, there's our little friendo there. I'm going to set the attraction force to 0. And as long as we fit, I don't know. It's going to be really tight. As long as we fit underneath, we should just be able to slowly ramp up the magnetic attraction. Brake, 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 brake. Slowly ramp up the magnetic attraction until they snap together. All right, let's retract these so they're not in the way. Oh, I don't know. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's a shame right there. Without the attachment port, he fits under. With the yeah, like just barely. Let me in. Let me in. Come on, you bastard. So that means we would need to put pistons on the bottom of this to lift it off the ground. clip the rover cores into the tanks, or... Oh, yeah, that's true. I could try that. So close. Look at that. We're only, what, like a foot off or so? 10 inches? All right, let's do one more tweak, and then we have to call it a day. One more tweak here. I like the rover. I'm liking him so far. Put the container on the rover lower. I can't really attach the the wheels to the tank because they don't. Then it's not gonna work there without some sort of structural area. Oh, you're saying put the legs on. Okay, no. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I like this. I don't want to edit the lander if I don't have to. Make the rover longer and put the port between the storage sections. Oh my god, that's a crazy idea. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, that's close. Okay, that gets us a that gets us a little way there. Can I lower? Can I I don't know if this will go well. That will go straight up. Maybe down. Like it was here before. We'll go up one tick. There we go. So that lowered the bottom. That moved the top and the bottom in just a little bit. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it with this. Cuz I only needed to move it just a little tiny bit. Just a little bit. It was, you know, it was like 8-10 inches. I would say 8 to 12 inches. Somewhere around there. 10 to 20 centimeters. 1 or 2 decimeters. A few hundred millimeters. Oh, I accidentally took off one of his thingies. Alright, now we'll just drive him back. If anything, he might be easier to control now. It might be harder to flip him. Well, hey, he's still got a thingy. I love it. We've already established that you can transfer fuel through a girder. Steering's pretty good. Steering is pretty good. Let's make sure that the docking force is at 0. And yeah, even if this does work, we're gonna want to make sure that there's a little wiggle room oh shit. No, we're safe. We're gonna want to make sure there's a little wiggle room to account for like irregularities in the moon surface. Because we're not going to want, we don't want to, you know, have it, you know, like scraping metal on metal to get there and then land on the moon and have like a little bump in the surface mess us up. But as long as I can make progress, as long as I can get it, I can wiggle these around a little bit more. I can make this a little, you know, I can raise up here, I can lower there, I can add on stuff here. It's actually really, it's very controllable. Very controllable. If anything, elongating it made it easier to control. Oh, shit. Well, what, was there a little bump there? There's like, I think I hit the edge of a texture. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Doom!
That was a little funny. That was a little funny. Like, I think because, I honestly think that I just slammed, okay, recover, I mean, Piggy Pants is cheap, he's okay. I think, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. This is a model, and this is a model, and this right here is, like, a separate model. So I think I just hit I just clipped the area between two models, and it kind of got a little wonky there. Just, either take that at an angle or a little bit slower, and we'll be fine. All will be well. God damn it. It was right fucking there, too. Alright, at least it was funny. Everything's fine as long as it's funny. God damn it. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll get... Well, it doesn't need another ear. We'll give it another ear later. Little piggy ears. This thing is cute. I was going like 18 meters a second. Make sure we turn the attraction force down. And maybe slow down a little bit this time. I always end up slamming the spacebar, expecting that to break. Not remembering that B is the brake key. So we're gonna brake a little bit here, a little slower, a little bit slower there, and whoop, nice. Maybe not as fast as the last time. Wow, this is gonna be real close. If this fucking works, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be amazing if this works. All right, we got another little blip here. All's well. Okay, just gotta want to make sure we're going a little bit slower when we hit the little bumps. All right, B. Slow down to like 10. Oh, fuck you, textures. There we go. Alrighty, let's retract the solar panel. He's shorter than he was before. Hang on. He fits, but the landing legs are too close together now. So we have to go back to a, alright, this is fine, because we can leave him here. Can we leave? I don't know if it probably won't let me, launch some, well, I don't know. Here, we'll leave, we'll just park him. Here, let's back him off the launch pad. Yeah, and then we'll alter that for 4 legs. We'll back him off the launch, because I don't think it'll let me launch with him sitting on there. Alright, so now we'll just go back to the Space Center. We'll just change that to 4 legs. We could also go back to the original idea and just make it a smaller coupling port, but that's lame. He's gonna be so much less cool looking with the small coupling port on him. So this one we will recover. Middle section can be skipped if you lower the legs, the tanks a little more. Yeah, but remember that so the more I lower it, the less ground clearance I get, which means the more likely he is to get stuck on the moon. Load this guy up. And all we're gonna do is grab these guys, swap it to 4. There we go. Launch. Is this fun to play? Oh my god, yeah. I love this game. I have a lot of fun playing this. I will say this, it's very hard to start. There are some tutorials to help, but it's very hard to start, especially if you don't know, you know, like a lot of science and orbital dynamics and some physics and things like that. But once you get the hang of some things, it's really satisfying, you know, building space stations and multi-stage rockets and, you know, all these crazy designs, actually getting things to work. It's a lot of fun. Like, this is a crazy design right here. This is an ore extractor designed to go to the moon. And I need to find a good way to get this to transfer its ore to that. All right. All right, stop. All right, we got this. Okay. Careful. 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 Oh, God. Hang on. And... okay, brakes. Now, we just turn up the docking force attraction. Oh, it works! Oh my god, it works! Ah, yes! Oh my god, it works. And then all I would have to do is transfer ore from here to here. Oh, these ones have ore in them. Can you how do you transfer ore from, you transfer fuel from tanks like this. Can you transfer ore?
Clever girl.
Can you transfer ore from tanks in the same way? Yes! 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 It works! So in theory, this guy would have ore in him. And these ones would be empty, and then what I would do is I would do this, and then I would transfer the ore out of these into these. Ha 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 ha. Spyware stuff was blown way out of context. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Test it with the ore, rover being full of ore. Yeah, I need to test it with the ore, with it being full of ore, but I think 99% chance it'll be fine. Because for starters, I mean, you saw that when I turned the attraction force up, it was like wobbling around a little bit. But this one was still set to just a normal force. So I have the option to turn this one up as well. And when I'm on the moon, the gravity will be less, so the forces will be easier for them to work with. Oh my god. And then all I would need to do is you go to here. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do that right now. Here, watch this. You can test it easily right now. Just fill these guys up with the ore sitting in these tanks here. Drive it off, drive it back. It'll take a second. I can't believe this freaking works. Leveling system window lock stuff. Yes, there is like a fun mode where you could play for oh, hey, kitten. You could play having everything unlocked, and then there is a campaign mode, which is what I'm playing, where you have to progress through the game to unlock like better parts and stuff. All right, so fill that one up. Fill this one up. This will be our last test before we're done for the day, and we'll have to pick this up next time. But oh my god, this has been, I can't believe this fucking works. I named my rover after Binks.
You didn't want to name it after Dinah?
Well, no, it's fat, so it's named Piggy Pants.
Pig Pants?
Piggy Pants.
You want to give this one a kiss real quick?
Come here, Dinah. There's a good girl. She's not hissing. All right, so now we can decouple, undock.
Okay, we're going.
Make sure this is, here, let's make sure this is set to 0. Then we'll switch over to the rover. We'll make sure this is set to 0. And I'm gonna drive this off of the, oh, no, there's not an edge there. All right, so let's just back it back in there. And then we'll, yeah, they kind of like bump into each other just a little bit, so I'd want to give it a little bit more wiggle room. I would definitely want to give this, oh shit, it just did it. The attraction force was set to, oh no, you know what? Hang on a sec. Undock. Drive off. Did it run out of juice? Oh, it's got juice. Am I... Why is it not driving? Oh, there it goes. This was, oh, that's set to 0. Is the other one set to 0? They're both set to 0. I think I just lined it up perfectly and it just hit it. Yeah, so we would do this. Brake. Oh, that's the wrong button. Brake. So, yeah, this is more... Oh, yeah. If you get it lined up perfectly, even with the attraction force set to 0, it just works. I would definitely want to alter this a little bit. What I'm thinking would be a good idea would be to possibly mount pistons to the side of the lander to lift it off the ground more. Because right now I don't want to lower the rover anymore. Its ground clearance is already really, really low. I could lower this down by clipping it into the girder just a little bit. That'll give me, you know, there's some clearance right here. So I could lower that down just a hair, to give it just a little bit more clearance. And I could probably raise the lander up a little bit to give it some more clearance too. Hang on a second. Hang on. I have a stupid idea. Oh no! I was like, can I drive the whole thing around? No, that buckles, that's too much weight. That's a lot of weight. Oh no! No, that's not what I thought it was. Hang on. That's not what I think that was the wheels folding up on themselves. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It doesn't want to move. Might work on the Lunar Magnus with lower gravity. Yeah, I don't think it has enough juice to get going like that. So let's extend those legs back down. Boop. Undock. Oh my god, I love it. And we could try, and then the thing would drive out of there. Although, I mean, there's a bit of an edge here. I think he could survive it. I think he's okay. Didn't even bottom out. Didn't even bottom out. Oh, it works. It works. I can't believe it. That is such a dumb idea, and it works so beautifully. I'm so happy with that. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the stream here, guys, because I'm already 40 minutes over my normal end time for my streams. But I'm gonna continue this playthrough on this coming week. Friday and Saturdays is when I normally play Kerbal Space Program. The streaming schedule is, as always, posted in... I'll give you a link. Boom. Discord right there. So if you want, click the Discord link. That's where the stream schedule is always posted. And this will go up on YouTube as the rest of the missions has. And I'll probably tweak this a little bit off screen. Like I'll probably tweak the rover a little bit and throw on the, appropriate accessories, like a matching pair of ears and the actual miner, which it might be easier to attach small miners to this guy because he's not very big. The 1.25 ton miner might be too much for him. And I'll probably test this out a little bit, alter it a little bit to see if I can get pistons to lower it, to raise it higher off the ground. But I'll just tweak things off screen for beauty, basically, and for function. We already know that the majority of this works. But thanks for watching, everybody. I've had an absolute blast today, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.